Hello, my dear fixed air. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. This is a reading for Aquarius fixed air, the mad scientist, as well as the the eccentric philosopher, that who avoids the tower and that who lives in the future. That is the energy of Aquarius. I will be dealing with the 9 card spread. So it's a 9 card spread that will reveal through the great mirror, which is a tool to see apparencies, transparencies, perhaps warps when it comes to the patterns or the psychological components between you and a significant other. If this person is significant, they would have significant action towards you. Remember, only take what you will. The mirror should prove useful to those who are willing to listen. Please like and subscribe if you will. If you dislike, thank you. I appreciate you, and take care now. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm working from the 1983 deck. It's a deck from, I believe it's, yeah, I think it's A.G. Mueller or U.S. Game Systems. Anyways, 1983, so it's a good year. About 36 years old, this deck. Aquarius is the 11th house. 11. Okay, finally. Jesus, 11. My goodness. 2. And the 3. Okay, there is a small narrative here. It has to do with growth as well as the road to happiness. You are on the path. The energy of your 7th house is activated, considering Leo is here, pageantry, as well as rite of passage. It's leading to the energy of the reverse fool. Someone is not willing to revamp or restart or take that leap of faith, but you are still radiating beyond them and could move past them through utter brilliance. Okay, that is the energy of your 7th house. This is your end here. My goodness, this is theirs. Interesting. And the mirror between both of you. This is your challenge. Okay, right. So let's look at your end first. On the conscious level, we have here the 10 of Pentacles, in the reverse. So there's something about you that is, of course, quite Saturnian, that has to do with the energy of also Uranus, the rebel, as well as the neon god. There's something here about you withdrawing from a type of structure or commitment that has to do with this connection, or perhaps with your own internal or externalized world and the manifestations there. You are playing essentially the natural inclination towards detachment against such structures, understanding your core and inner causes, and standing up by your own truths when it comes to your relationship to certain structures in society or the expectations of situations. So when it comes to this, if you are or have been in some sort of relationship with this person or had some sort of situation at some point, there is no longer the need for you to classify in terms of a relationship genus, the relevance of, say, the said word when it comes to commitments with this person. It could be a boss, it could be a friend, it could be, something like that, a family member. But essentially there has been some sort of inner falling out and you trying to redefine the mystery behind said structures. Aquarius is all about reform, and there's something here that requires clarity when it comes to that reform, which you're moving towards. Okay. Yeah, so there are modes and means of severance here that have been questionable, and now you're coming into light when it comes to that. This is leading to a sense of despondency and perhaps release when it comes to the great expectations that revolve around situations or relationships. Now, there's a movement also to the energy of Leo, the sun here, and the child, as well as the twins. There's a movement, and it's sort of like a type of victory for you. So you are essentially moving away from either a relationship you're currently in, or a job, a love relationship, something, or perhaps the idealization of such a relationship, and moving forward into happiness. There also is a sort of Six of Swords energy here, of moving away from, say, emotional troubles. And there's also someone, it's as if I think there is a possibility that you may be vibrating at such a proportionate energy that you may actually inadvertently sort of surpass the six of like you're way ahead in some sort of way, and perhaps you are in it to sort of rescue the object of your affection, whether it's a project or a lover or a friend, whatever. There's a possibility to retroactively sort of move. It's as if you've already claimed a stake in the territorial ground of the future, and now are moving past to the past in order to essentially have this sort of dissolution when it comes to terrible emotions or toxic shit, and like really standing by your truth and moving beyond it. I think you have the possibility to be the catalyst for this person, place, or thing, and also carry them, act as a carrier or the agent of some sort of beautiful dissolution, which is wonderful. Um, be careful that you may be playing some sort of love story, but I think with the energy of the sun, there is a combustible compression that will help you sort of encapsulate this energy and give it to anyone you see, the sun in pill form, which is a very extended allegory. Hopefully, it's not too esoteric. Now, on the subconscious realm, once again, there is the energy of Saturn with the devil, with Capricorn energy, which is possibly your 12th house. It doesn't have to be. Um, but there is a type of like agency here or authority that you may be embodying in terms of empowerment. This does not have to be a negative card. I'm reading it more as a structure. There is a type of structure that you are trying to create as opposed to the Ten of Pentacles structure, which is more based on chemical agency, desire, empowerment when it comes to potency. Okay, that is the energy of the true energy of the devil, and the true energy of Capricorn. So it can be good. At the same time, there can be some sort of incredible sort of gravity, perhaps addiction when it comes to your energy. And perhaps you want to also have this, which is can be quite dark of a reading, fairly interesting. On their end, they have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is resonant with the Leo reading, which is in your 7th house. There's not an option, but there is a need for this person to essentially release something in order to hand over control, because of the Five of Pentacles, which bridges the Nine of Cups. Okay, so it's interesting. If you are courting someone, there is a very detached quality to the emotional contents here, and it's more based on desire as well as chemical interplay. And it's very difficult because this person also feels as if, let's see, it would be the ace. It would be the ace, yeah. Feels that it would be a new beginning, but a new beginning towards purity of a new type of love that doesn't involve classical ideas of romance. At the same time, there's a heavy component of codependency here, which is fairly interesting. My goodness. Aquarius, you guys are trying to bring in some very, very interesting love story, if it is love, and it has to do with an element of truly walking off a beaten path and essentially embodying core elements of desire and possession, which is very sexy and seductive, but at the same time being detached from emotions. Now, on the soul level, we have here the element of regret on one end, but then also the element of the Two of Cups on the other, as well as challenges. Perhaps you see this connection as a challenge. Perhaps there is an element of some sort of guilt trip that comes from the family structure, and you're trying to move your way through it to understand through modes of knowledge. To understand the sort of binding agent that puts you into a type of a cynicism or perhaps regret, perhaps guilt. But this is never a totally negative card. The fives are showing up heavy here. Five, five, and five. Swords, pentacles, and cups. All you're missing is the the five of air, the five of rather swords, pentacles, cups, water, five of cups. No, five of cups. Anyways, I'm not gonna get the elements right now. There's a difference here between their seven and your five, which leads to the two, which is fairly interesting. They have a great deal of spiritual sort of revolution going on in their life. You see this, and there is a possibility for you to help them in a difference that is the Two of Cups. All you have to do is turn around, and as you do, um, there's a total eclipse of the heart uh, sort of song. That was my poor joke. Anyways, turn around. I'm not going to sing. Anyways, yeah. So what I'm saying here is essentially kind of a disconnect when it comes to communications. It leads to the Five of Swords energy, or it could add to the six. There's a flighty sort of dreamy connection here that is very intoxicating, especially because you are the object of desire. Someone who has like a corn cob like lodged inside of their arse, and it's very difficult for them to release, but they're trying to, and as they do that, there is fluidity, and no longer is there some sort of deep spiritual angst that this person tends to go through. The darkness they find in you is actually poetic, and you guys serve as mirrors to do shadow work with each other on a deep level. As well, there is a difficulty for them to truly open up, but there's also a difficulty for you. Um, Temptation is here, and there also is mutual sort of despondency or mutual sort of dark night energy between you two on a soul level, which can be harmonized by talking to each other with the inner child. Okay, but I think for the month, you are on the path towards pageantry, and you're moving away from some sort of choice of involving yourself in the tower or not. You've been very crafty at this, but the motivation behind all of this is essentially free will versus free will leading you towards energies of sadness or betrayal from the past, from the deep past. Anyways, hopefully that helps. In terms of advice, you should try to balance and try to counter this person's confusion when it comes to the options of love or the options of the grand design of any new forms of love that are revealing themselves through this connection. This is involving a great deal of shadow work, and I wish you the very best of luck with that, my dear Aquarius. If you would like a reading, I can do that with astrological interpretations to go quite deep into your personal narrative. Goodbye.